Hey everyone, Teehashee here, back with our Thought Process RogueTech gameplay commentary. We are over the surface of Goldra, looking to take a stab at this campaign mission. If it's the one that I think it is, it's quite a bit, quite a bit tougher, or things can definitely go awry on this mission. So we'll do some story stuff. So he's been caught, but it's not the end of the world. He made a dead drop, which I think was clever, because he probably got captured um, as a decoy and led them away from his dead drop. Okay. Alright, so we lost Lord Madeira. That's that's a dumb thing to say. Okay. This is a reasonable thing to say, but it's also obvious. So let's say something nice. Okay. So I'm not sure what exactly happens with this subdermal transponder or with the APC, but it could be that they cut the transponder out of him because it's some kind of decoy when we do the mission. We shouldn't launch without intel. Um, I mean, what? Uh, what? What intel sources could we have? I'm not sure. Okay, so she's coming in her Atlas. So we are going to, for this mission, it's really unwise to do a mixed lance. So I'm going to say that first, okay? But we're going to do it anyway. We're doing it anyway. Oh, let me back out of this. It probably doesn't make that much difference. I was just going to back out to see if there was promotions to do, or if there were promotions to do. Better English. But no. Oh, this is going to be a bad call. I just sorry, I'm whinging. I just got done updating these mechs too, and they're gonna get absolutely trashed on this mission. But what do you give? What do you put the updates on for if you're not going to use the thing? That's got those spanking SRM6s on it. Just looking at the virtues of bringing our LRM boat instead. Okay, let's do it. Let's go grab Behemoth. It's her mech. Should just stick her in it. Not a huge reason to bring a scout mech. Um, or not exactly not to bring a scout mech, but to bring a scout pilot, because this is going to demand a lot of mobility, a lot of heat management. I think I'll drop him out. We'll put Decker in. Trading pseudo heat management with sensor lock to hard heat management. And then we got Kamei in the Atlas. You can see her stats. They're not the worst, right? Her gunnery's pretty good. And everything else, you know, she's in an Atlas. She doesn't need anything else, right? Right, guys? She's got more superpowers. She's got more superpowers. All right. Here we... This is also this other one with high heat efficiency. That's probably good, honestly. The other one has the comm system in it though, and we're gonna need every advantage we can get. Okay. I'm going to do this one as is. And if for some reason it goes really south, I'll bring assault mechs for the next one. But we pledged a while back that we're running mixed lances. I prefer to run mixed lances. I believe somewhere deep in my heart that I've beaten this mission with a mixed lance, but yeah. Okay. Loading screen hopes and dreams. I mean, this is a real fight we're going into. So we're going to hope that they miss us a lot. And we're also going to hope that we hit them a lot, right in the face. Those are the two things. Those are our hopes. And then our dream is that the fire starter does not get cored out. Why do I wish specifically for the fire starter? Because it's gonna be the one. It or the Marauder. Seems like Alexander was caught not too far from his dead drop location. The biggest thing though, the biggest issue is that there are turrets, and there are turrets you have to take seriously. So usually the best thing to do is break right and go up this hill. Off you go, Kamea. We have mechs that can decently snipe. I might change my mind and leave my yucko. Sorry, I'll finish my thought, I promise. might change my mind and leave my fire starter on the road. That's what I'm thinking about doing. For some reason, I remember that if you get up here, there are like way more turret generators than this one. Maybe it's the only one? Cross his fingers. Alright. Here are the bad guys. Now I gotta check and see if we can actually get down here. We can, but we're only going to be able to hit it with the large or the medium lasers. Let's reserve for a second. So what we'll do, reserve once more. We will move until we're sure that the fire starter has line of sight on the turret generator, and then we'll have Glitch destroy it. I like to pull my punches here, but I probably shouldn't. We'll do that. Okay. Why don't we just finish reserving now? Okay. Just checking to see if we can get any kind of line of sight. Affirmatron. And then we're just gonna walk the Atlas back off the hill. We don't need it up there. Okay, let's get our Scooty Booty Man up there. That looks pretty good. It's a dragon. Okay, I thought the Galleon had short-range weapons. Surely you could have done more to the fire starter. I think as much as we can, we're going to continue dunking on this dragon. Mwah. That's what you sound like. Well, we've got some well-trained pilots in those galleons. kind of an indicator that everyone in the war is stretched to their absolute limit, either via personnel on our side or hardware on theirs. We just don't have enough nice stuff to put people in. Here goes the dragon. Pew! And we got our large lady. She does have breaching shot and an LRM-20. So I wonder if we can do some superpowered nonsense. So C is getting the LRM-20, B the SRM-6, and a large laser. Sure, we'll give it a medium pulse laser too. Oh, and we're gonna turn the autocannon 20 off. We're gonna want that later. Alright, nice shooting, Kamea. Not quite enough to bring it down. Pretty close though. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna have a chance to sink our heat, so I might just shoot everything to make sure it dies. There we go. Alright, we've got 2 units in the space already. Reserve up until we have Kamea again. There we go. I have some questions. I mean, other than it drives the narrative, I have some tactical questions about letting her know that Alexander isn't there, or the advantage to be gained by waiting for us to search it. Also, that building has an angry face. Again, yeah, she makes this is all very silly because Kamea's like, oh, taking hostages, you shouldn't do that. That's mean. It's like we definitely took hostages. Victoria was a hostage, but that's how Kamea is. She's kind of daft. Or well insulated, I guess we could say. She's a noble. She does and says noble things. Okay. So let's reconnoiter to fight these guys. This is also kind of the best scouting I can do with Decker. What's this vehicle? SRM carrier and a trebuchet. I think we'll also sprint her up there. Just as soon as we get a chance, we'll jump in those trees. The other reason why we're doing it is, so if you're in a pincer maneuver, and ouch. Hit him in the back with a stray shot. Dang. That's going to kind of set the tone for this mission, though. If you're in a pincer maneuver and 2 enemy forces are closing in on you, you can't make the distance between them equal. You basically have to get right up in that guy's face. Basically have to choose one side and then push that side. Kill shot. Hunchback, Wom, that's what you sound like. This guy is overextended. We'll try and shoot him in the back and core him out that way. We got 2 good mechs and lots of precision to do it with. Precision, please. There we go. It's pretty good shooting. Yep. That's all it took. So we're right up close to this trebuchet. So yeah, his combat options were really limited. Speaking of limited combat options, this Atlas has just been sitting still, but that's, you know, when you don't have your own hardware with you, that's something that you can run into. I think we'll just do a breaching shot. Do have the LRM-20. The only issue is that she's so far behind. I kind of just want to run her up there. I do not exactly consider this the best option, but she does have breaching shot, and we will be looking to kill this trebuchet the next turn as best as we can. Here's this panther. Let's see. That looks pretty good. Yep. Yeah, we can jump up there enough to get LOS, but not take a shot. So we'll just sprint down this road, let her sink her heat a little bit. Pachoo. And then Glitch can take a shot. This might not be a bad place to leave Glitch. Never done that before. Because I think it forces you later in the mission, forces all of your mechs into the same place, into an ambush. And it's all very hairy. I think we'll just shoot for center of mass. Pretty good shooting. Alright, Kamea. Can you bring it home for the boys back home? Looks like you can. Yep. Didn't even need to shoot the SRM6s. I was pretty sure that I could do it without using ammo, but we're just trying to get these guys dealt with just as fast as we can. Take as little damage as possible. Alright, we got this Yahoo to deal with. I think we'll just let her shoot, and then we'll save our precision strike for the other two heavier mechs. No, this is the place. Welcome to die. There we go. Oh, they cloned the signal. I thought it was a bit more metal if they just sort of that out of him. Nice. There is good sound design in there for her just smashing Lord Madeir's face. But yeah, I mean, this is it's not really a military tactic but you know, they're goading us into a trap by making us maid. I think we'll just jump you. Actually, it looks like she can do that on foot, so we'll do that. Brace. All right. I think we'll bring the Atlas around like that. The other thing is we could reserve and make these guys come closer to us. See, it's a little angry house. Still think it got shot once, so it might not be as angry as it was a second ago. Okay, now sprint down here. Alright, here's the enemy lands. I'm tempted to send both these units around like this because they'll probably come down this road towards Kamea. If they split up and go one way or the other, that's not what we want. So let's run him down here. He's still sinking heat. We're gonna jump her over here. We're just going to shuffle her around like this. Alright, come at me, boys. There's a fire starter. Okay, that's all going fine. Kentaro will have to take that seriously. We're gonna have to check Glitch's line of fire. Seems alright. We gotta move up just a bit. There we go. There we go. So yeah, we're just doing the methodical thing, and as much as we can, taking out the enemy forces piecemeal. Trying to pick some smart targets. It says her shot wasn't very good, which is a bit of a surprise. Hopefully it's enough, yeah. Yeah, she's everyone comes in and is like, this is a nightmare. We can't do it like this. This is an interesting suggestion. That would be kind of a fun mission if you did have to run it, but not in Assault Mechs. Like not that Atlas with that pilot in it, please. The evidence, yeah, we're gonna lose. All right, here we go. We're back in business. All right. Oh, they had another fire starter. They have so many fire starters. Okay. Don't think I can prevent this Kentaro from getting cooked again, so we're just gonna reserve. Oh, not only did he not cook it, but he stood still. Well, we're gonna shoot you then. Oh, he's an ace pilot. Okay. I think we're gonna shoot you anyway, maybe? Let's just reserve for one more turn. You're probably also an ace pilot. Not gonna fall for it again. Be like, ooh, you're standing still, thank you. Alright, there we go. So let's go. We've got some flanking shots on these guys, so I think we're gonna take those. It's been, or not, about this. There we go. That's one. Machine guns are out, which is fine. Yep, I was gonna say that looks like death. Cool. And speaking of death, we find where we are. We're really just looking to wipe evasion, which is fire the autocannon. It's just like shooting at a vehicle. I have Behemoth go for the kill shot. There glitch. Alright. It's genuinely a huge pain to get around this area without jump jets. Okay. I don't think, if I remember right, I don't think Vittoria even takes to the field this time. I'm gonna wait to move the Atlas first because it's in the way. You have to put one unit in the circle for 3 rounds. Just gonna leave her on the road for as long as possible. That large lad is very large. $75 tons. It's a real mech. Someone who really showed up to play. Alright, glitch. The target zone is safe. There's a Black Knight. We're coming for you, sir. LRM carrier. Gonna be public enemy number 1. Black Knight's gonna have to wait. Okay. That definitely hurt, but we gotta deal with it for now. Probably gonna have Behemoth kill that thing. There we go. And as for you, sir, we're just gonna walk at you. That's a terrible shot. It's tempting, but it is a bad shot for this A much better decision. Probably not using enough resolve, honestly. I guess with the Marauder, I'll use resolves with every shot. She's gonna have to be defending herself. Pew. If he's got any brains, he'll shoot at Kamea. Let's see. Nope, shooting at the fire starter. Hit the fire starter too. Alright, we're in the circle. Shoot him in the face, Glitch. I believe in you. Okay. So I think we're gonna reserve and put. I really want that Black Knight, but that's just how life is sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes you want things, and sometimes the thing you want you need to kill, right? That's how life works. I have just been informed that I am legally obligated to state that that was a joke. Alright. You, Sir Knight, are officially toast. Alright, Decker. Do me a favor and get up that hill. I need a hero. Wah, wah. Take that. Yeah, made you think twice, hmm? Stop. For some reason I thought more bad guys came. Am I crazy? I think with a precision shot. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay. Nice. Multi-target. It made that turn happen. Except for that part. Ignore that part. Multi-target. It made that turn happen. Yeah, see? There we go. Alright. We don't have bad guys breathing down our throats. Maybe I handled this much better than I've done it in previous missions, but I was pretty sure the bad news wasn't over. Let's just brace you there. Oh, wow, that's it. What a meanie. Okay, well, I thoroughly admit that I may have built that up more in my head than it actually played out. It actually went extremely cleanly. And our hopes and dreams came true. So, what more, poor guy, what more could we want? Took a PPC right in the back. That fire starter is a really good build. It can even get better, which is exciting. Alright, so there's our first piece of Black Knight. Another bit of Kintaro. I think our first Hunchback 4P as well. Let's see, we can finish the dragon. We'll kick the Kintaro out for that. Have a bunch of stuff that we can finish. Nothing fancy, nothing fancy. That's all pretty fancy. Gosh dang it. It just never ends. Sorry if that's like wimpy or something, but you have to prioritize on this. It's like the best weapon in the game. Yeah. Consigned to disappointment, but we have Black Knight pieces. So there is that. We're also kind of rolling with our salvage, where it pretty much doesn't matter what salvage we pick up, we're going to be finishing mechs. Assuming that I don't keep picking up plus 10 damage medium lasers, but you have to until all of your mechs have them and you have enough in reserve for when they break. It's something you have to do. Mixed lances also depend on having the best possible gear. Alright. Cinematic time. So he's obviously had the absolute crap beat out of him. At least they were good enough to take his glasses off. In the real deal, though, it's not that way. The first thing they do is smash your glasses onto your face. Okay, so let's see what we learn from this bad boy. So the hollow file is going to summarize all this for us, narratively speaking. So kind of a hand-wavy way to explain why we have a hollow record of this, but that's all right. Here goes. So here's our boy, Director Santiago. So this is a common argument that's adopted by the more militaristic of people in all societies, right? Um, not just like this fictional one, but in our society, in societies overseas, in all societies, right? But look, it says for our directorate to thrive, we must be even harder, right? Contrasted against the galaxy, for us it would be the world, but the galaxy is a hard and uncaring place. So but you have to read it properly, right? Or you have to read the meaning behind his words. Here he uses the word uncaring, and he uses the word hard, and he goes from hard to hard, right? But he is also going, though he doesn't want to accentuate that, he's also going from uncaring to uncaring, right? The galaxy is a hard and uncaring place. There, ergo, we have to be hard and uncaring, right? Which, of course, is a philosophy that basically leads to atrocity, uh, not just for your enemies, but for yourselves. It doesn't matter if it's an army or a workforce or anything like that. As long as this is your attitude, you're not going to take good care of people, even if they're your people. So she says, yeah, that's fine. So this is also um, a good explanation for the mentality of like a smaller country, a tin pot dictatorship. So this is probably short-sighted because their location is what they can offer. They're basically a buffer state between the Taurian Concordat magistracy and the successor states. Um, and so that's, it, so they don't, the directorate, being the directorate, does not go straight for diplomacy. They take military action first, or they consider it the best first possible option instead of the last worst possible option, right? And it leads to this disaster. So this is his point. Like, it's it's war, but war has also been called diplomacy through any other means, right? So it's like you conduct diplomacy, but you're, again, it's the last thing you want to do is actually talk to people. You prefer shooting guns rather than solving problems. And they're not the same thing. Don't tell me that they are. Can you solve problems with violence? Absolutely. Is violence the answer to problems? It's not. It's not. Okay. So they're talking about conducting this chemical strike, and they already know that Protector Calderon is going to look immediately at House Davian, at the Federated Sons, and therefore be very open to the proposal of an alliance. So the timeline basically happens like this. This attack happens, the Perdition Massacre. The Directorate reaches out to Protector Calderon and says, hey, I realize you just suffered a tragedy. Do you need an ally? And on moves history. So she brings up a good point. What if this starts a war between us and the Federated Sons? A sort of defensive pact like this might cause uh, that issue to arise. Um, but uh, Lord Espinosa calls it correctly and says it's basically a Cold War, and we're going to gamble, right? We're going to gamble that the war will stay cold. Oh, here he even says it. Sorry, I didn't read that far ahead. Okay, so there we go. Yeah. Um, so Vittoria carries out the attack herself, but also um, uh, I like Lord Espinosa as a villain, in the sense that he's not so, like, he doesn't even have a mustache to twirl, right? You see that? Clean, clean as a baby's butt. So basically, what he says is that if any of this goes awry, um, it's the end of the it's the end of the directorate, or it's the end of the Oregon Reach, even without discussing the Arano restoration, which I don't know is underway yet or not. But uh, even if it were, according to the timeline, more or less, the Aranos are just getting started when the Perdition Massacre takes place. We even receive news about it early in the campaign. But here he says, who truly loves the Reach, and it's hard to say whether or not he's using loyalty or love to the Oregon people as a form of manipulation against Vittoria. I can't answer that. You don't get that. This is the best picture you get into their characters. This happening right here, and a little bit later. Um, but it does lay out for you that, like, Lord Espinosa believes in the Reach, and he um, also strangely doesn't seek power for power's sake. Again, it becomes clear later. But anyway, despite that, his basically ruling philosophy is still very flawed, or it still boils down to doing unthinkable things for the preservation of his state. And again, lots of people say, yeah, that's how state building is done. That's how state building has always been done. But unfortunately, that gets construed as an excuse to do atrocities or to use violence or to use a large military to solve problems versus actually conducting diplomacy. So uh, I would not be in a huge hurry to accept that argument. Let's see. So you get a view into like his frustration with House Arano and the sort of like uh, the slow march of the Aranos, as well as just what he viewed as at least military incompetence. But he also, okay, this is another thing. This is another thing that uh, like a person of this thought process adopts. So here he says defense a couple times, right? To safeguard, um, and then you are the defender of the realm. But this is not a defensive act, right? This they are going on offense. They are attacking the Taurians to get what they want, um, and uh, not only that, but they're attacking their potential ally to show sort of their duplicitous nature. And so, like, were this ever discovered, like we're about to expose, the again, the duplicitous nature of your ally becomes immediately apparent, and the leaders that you're dealing with, it immediately becomes obvious that the people you're working with are scumbags. And not only do they not value human life in general, they definitely don't value the human life of your people because they attacked you to get the situation, to create the situation that they want. So there we go. He successfully manipulates her, if you see it that way. But she plays herself, in my opinion. She buys into his BS. And the only way stuff like this gets stopped is to have good people in subordinate positions say, I'm not going to do terrible things for my superiors because it's terrible, right? You need good subordinates. Obviously, you need good people in charge to never pass down ridiculous orders like that. But again, failing that, the only thing you can do is have the internal moral compass of people, good people, and just say, we're not gonna we're not gonna murder people en masse or at all, ideally. Okay. This is these. I mean, these are all good answers, but we're gonna go with the one that keeps the focus on Alexander because he paid the sacrifice, or he's paying the price. I agree with this analysis. This is also not a bad option, but we already know that these guys don't bargain. They bargain with human lives, and human lives are what they have right now. We have nothing to trade. Let's go with this. And she understands the tactics here. She's like, we gotta, we got more stuff to do. And this is a good point because she's been with us for a while. I'm sure she's got so many messages on her cell phone. And the XO says his XO thing. Go back to work. Nothing to see here. Alright. So, a bit of a long episode. Feel free to dip out now because we're just going to do housekeeping stuff. A lot of story analysis that I wasn't wasn't like 100% planning to do, which is fine because it's fun to talk about that stuff. Um, and the series is called Thought Process. At the very least, you guys get a decent view into the way that I think, and through your interaction, I get to see how you guys think as well. And that is a truly irreplaceable gift, in my opinion. Takes a lot of guesswork out of knowing people. So we brought in our best pilots for that, which was definitely a good call. So we're kind of just poking around to see if there's anything else experience-wise. Doesn't really look like it, though. We can check our contracts just briefly. Nothing. Really? Nothing? Okay. Are we still... I guess we didn't conquer Goldra. Yeah, we're still in Directorate space, technically. Let's look at the star map. But we did it. We got our Mixed Lance win out. Oh, that's kind of funny. There's the capital world. And there's the flank that she's worried about. And this we're leaving alone until we take the capital, which makes sense. So we got a straight flight to Ytrom. Have no idea how to say that. Mangazangadan? Probably, maybe. Smithin, we have to turn to go to... The problem is that we were just on Ytrom, and I feel like there won't be any contracts there. So let's go to this. Just turn that filter back off. This place and see what we can do there. Okay. I don't think we're ahead with the mech bay. Don't think there's anything else we need to do. Just going around and checking to see if there are... Looks like we need to do some medium laser installation. We don't yet have 6 of them, which is a shame. I think we'll just wait. Sorry, just like in MechWarrior 5, I like to pair my stuff. Up so that all the weapons on your mech behave the same way. Unless it's like the King Crab where you literally just shoot 2 primary weapons, then at that point you can be like, they're 2 different weapons, you generally don't even shoot them at the same target, and so that doesn't matter as much. I'm gonna save our medium lasers then, and update one of these Cyclops. Okay. Could probably start upgrading the drive system. This is the improved library, yeah. Yeah, I think just because our repairs are actually happening fast enough. So initially, early in the game, repairing your drive system doesn't make sense because you'll eat up your transition time, which you would normally take anyway repairing mechs. But now that this is fully upgraded, you actually can afford to get places a little bit faster. So I think we'll do that. It is kind of ironic that we're like repairing the drive while flying. I mean, you know what I mean? Doesn't that seem weird? You really can't do that with any other kind of engine. Oh yeah, this is funny. Okay. Dr. Murad does not think it's funny, but we're not gonna do anything about it. We don't care. Yeah. I'm sorry. I do like that little bit of storytelling. It's small and it's very like paradoxy. Paradox likes to do stuff like that, but it's something that they do well. And I mean it's probably the writers at Hairbrained that actually pulled this off, but it is a kind of thing that you see in Paradox games fairly often, and it does add something definitely. All right, we're gonna finish this flight. The drive is almost done. I think we'll finish upgrading it. That does save you money and travel time in the long run. Again, it's one of the least important upgrades you can do, just especially early. It's not unimportant. You just have to do it late, but it is cool that they do it like that, like or you can figure that stuff out because in most situations it's like oh we when you're upgrading something it's like I need as many upgrades as early as possible, and in this it's not the case at all. It's like yeah, I definitely do not need that upgrade as early as possible. This is a bad combination, or I mean post in the comments if you guys are still hanging out with me, but yeah, to combine multi-target and sensor lock. I think again very early in the game you could sensor lock two targets in one turn, which was powerful, but you can't do that anymore, so it's kind of pointless now. Check the store. We're still on kind of poo planets, so not hoping for too much here. There's a piece of stalker. There's a LRM5 upgrade, and they're super rare, so we're just gonna pick that up. Plus crit on an LRM10. We don't have time for that. Don't have time for that. Don't have time for that. Hello. So this is nice though. They don't have. I think we're alright for SRM6s. They don't have fancy mechs, but they do have some fancy guns. So I think we're over here. Let's click on that. Yeah, that was it, but that's all right. And we'll look at contracts for just a second. And maybe upgrade our pilots, though I bet there aren't very many upgrades to do at this point. It's all going to be done in contracts. Territorial claims. Interesting. We got some pretty serious missions here, so we'll see next time how these go. Pirates are doing a lot of operating here as well. Don't think we have too much else going on out here. We'll just run by our people who aren't maxed. Yeah, she's not gaining any additional XP. Questionable if he is. He is. And definitely not. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out, and we'll do some contracts next time.